Whatever happened to John Cicada? Or was it John Cicada? I remember that from the 90s. Is it the 90s or early 2000s? Yeah. Anyway, another evening. Little. Yeah, I'll just turn John down and come back to him a little bit later. Okay. All right. So, hello, Bernie Pereira here. Sometimes I don't actually say my name, but then I'm only just going to a group that I set up. And of course, some night owls or some people out there who are just browsing through their Facebook, and all of a sudden it's like somebody's gone live and don't know who this person is. I'll check her out. Anyway, okay, so what I thought I would actually just talk about tonight is the whole benefit of setting really big goals. Not just small goals, but really, really, really big goals, and putting a time frame on them that it's almost impossible to do. Now, I'm just wondering, because I'm almost on that mindset of that's how I actually am operating these days. But I'm wondering whether it's because I'm at my age that I am now, that I, one, whether I can afford it, two, whether I want to afford it, doing the whole thing slow and methodical and just overthinking things, because you can get to the point where you just overthink things. You want things to be so perfect that it basically stalls you and delays wherever you need to actually go. Um, and and I know all too familiar what it's like when you set things through, or you have a to-do list and you're going through it, and then it's like you only half do it, and then you try to go the other one, and then it's like another day. No, haven't really sort of gone further than what I had actually intended. So that's why I basically said it's like, well, how do you eat an elephant? And it is basically just one bite at a time. It's that steady progress. How do you climb a mountain? It's one step at a time. The benefit that we have when we we do research, or we take courses, or we listen to people, is that they are either a step ahead, one step ahead, or quite a few steps, or they've actually gone up to the mountain, they've actually ate the elephant, and have somehow through their story are now sharing that experience with people that are going down that same journey. And rather than actually that delay, say, for example, for me, 10 months, over 10 months, going on 11 months, if I can shortcut that journey. And that's what people, when they're learning things, right? You go to university, you're shortcutting your the learning process, because you're learning from people who have like years and years and years of experience, or certain skill set, something that they've actually been able to sort of teach. They're an expert at something. So they shorten that time period. So whether you take advantage of it, so that rather than start right at the bottom, you're actually starting at a point that's further ahead, because they've basically said to you, well, we did all this, but we found these things weren't working right, so we decided to what worked well in maybe my case, or maybe some other people's cases, is if you started over here. And that's the whole benefit of actually sort of learning and keeping an open mind, and just taking it all in and thinking, yeah, you're right. Rather than me go through that painful way of actually learning something right from then, what is it that I can take from that person who's actually steps ahead, and be able to actually shortcut my time, you know, your time, by starting your journey ahead of time. All right. So reminds me of that movie. I don't know if you remember it, but it's called Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio. I think he's the main one, and he depicts a guy. It's a real guy. I can only remember his first name. It's Frank, but he would basically, whether he was a con artist or whatever, but you know, he was like an airline pilot when he really didn't go through that training. He was, I think, it was like a medical doctor, and he didn't even go through medical school and everything else. But he sort of said something like in there that because he was very quick to learn, he just didn't have the, maybe it's, I don't know whether it's the aptitude or the time to actually just go through the actual sort of process to be certified and things. So he would basically just teach people, as long as he was like one chapter ahead, he was able to teach somebody that wasn't quite there yet and things. So that sort of gives us hope for it, you know, for everything basically. So but the thing I'm actually sort of really working on is I don't want to just set a goal. I want to actually set really, really big goals. And I've set a really massive one that's I'm going to be doing tomorrow, about 2 o'clock. So if you're actually looking at your time, you're thinking 2 o'clock. Bernie's doing something at the moment. She is. She's going to be actually teaching. But what I'm doing actually a online coaching program where I'm going to teach, you know, and it's not an in-depth thing, but it's fairly it's probably about 45 minutes per pillar, the Power 5 pillar of the mindset, the nutrition, the exercise, the sleep and fasting from my perspective and things. So, and I'm going to do it live. I'm going to do it live rather than actually record it ahead of time and then make it available as an on-demand course. But I'm going to do it live and record, because I'll grab the recording from that. I might as well. If you're going to do it anyway, I thought, well, why not just do it live, you know? But that's just me, I guess. So I'm going to do that tomorrow afternoon. So it's probably going to be about from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And then I'll just grab the recording and then obviously in post edits, just probably tidy it up a little bit and then make it available as an on-demand program that will be actually available. And it's just going to be maybe the first, not maybe, it will be the first of a few that I'm actually going to be putting together. Some won't be that long. A few of them might be actually really short, you know, and probably just delivered via email, you know, like short little challenges or coaching programs along the way. But that's what I've decided to work on and focus my energy on. And that's why I'm actually doing a lot of these lives, so that I can just get myself all sort of familiar with being able to just speak, be fluent, practice communicating whatever that message is that I want to communicate over, and then I'm able to actually communicate over. And because eventually what happens after, when you're practicing something for a long time, you get better. Right? You get better at it. So that's why it's like, well, I'm doing these lives. At the same time, I just want to be able to sort of share things rather than just make it all available only when, like, I've got all my, you know, ducks in a row and whenever that time is. So that's why I thought, no, let's just get into just coming on each night or each afternoon and just sharing whatever I can about a certain aspect of what I'm trying to put together. Now, I had a thought also, and this is an idea that I'll work on after I actually complete my program, or the first of my programs, is I'd like to actually, for us as a community, um, maybe mainly in that Pacific Island community, and it is based on that conversation that I had. Uh, is it a week ago? Over a week ago with Amos, where we talked just really briefly at the end, where there was a number of people that are in the either health professionals. They don't necessarily have to be like specialists, right? Um, or people that um, are able to actually sort of contribute through their story that might resonate with a wider community. And I was thinking, well, I attend quite a few summits. Probably quite a few of us out there actually attend what they call summits, which is more like a collective gathering of various people around a particular type of topic area. And I was thinking, well, we could probably do something like that, and give the opportunity for people more widely in our community, the Tokelau or Samoan community, whether they're in Tokelau or whether they're in Australia or in New Zealand, or in Samoa, to be able to just sort of like, whether they provide it live or they provide it as a recording, just some area that they that might actually sort of help, and maybe we just put it in, so we do our own Pacific Island summit. I know there's probably some out there and whatever, but I mean, it might be just a nice exercise to actually sort of gather, and whether it's just a few of us that it starts off with. That's how most things are actually built, right? Starts with one person and then it just sort of like moves on from there. So I was thinking that that's probably something that would actually be quite good. So so be prepared. We'll get some people together, and whether we just sort of delegate and just get the word out and see who we can actually sort of put it together, and then we put a program together and then just make it available on our social platforms to get people to actually either watch or participate somehow, but just to get sort of things moving, so we're at least having the conversation, particularly around what we can do to stop the that the diabetes, you know, escalating further. Just what we are able to do, either individually or collectively as a group. So that's what I was thinking of. I think we should do it. We should do it. All right. Okay. So I'm a true believer, like I said, of not just setting a goal. I didn't set a goal of to lose 100 pounds. I set a goal uh, to basically fit into some of my clothes that I had been hanging in my cupboard for a long, long time. um, and I knew just by that having that visual goal that, yeah, or I wasn't talking about like how many kilograms or whatever, because I didn't really know how many kilograms, you would say. If you like tell me what does 5 kilograms look like, it's like, I don't know. Does that put it in dress sizes and maybe I'll have an idea, right? Are you telling me like 5 kilograms is I would go down one or two dress sizes? Then yeah, okay. Yeah, I am sort of slimming down. But so whatever your goal is, your health goal, just think so. All right. So that's just top of my head stuff for Saturday night. And I will probably leave it that like that because I'm still actually finishing my slides for tomorrow. Um, and I will go back to that. But you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night, Sunday morning. Go the lotu. And yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow after I finish my my program. All right. Bye-bye.